What up everyone, Jack from Jack Mamu here, and today we are going to be talking about 3 ways you can level up your account to max as fast as possible, including a method that SuperCell doesn't want you to know. That's right everyone, today we are talking about maxing out our accounts. Leveling up your cards in your account is probably the fastest way that we can get higher up and do better in Clash Royale. Many of us wonder, well, what's my chance of leveling up my legendary cards? Or how long will it take me to get to a certain level? Or even if I was to buy a chest or buy gems, where would it most be effective with? Well guys, that is what I'm here today to help us with. I had to go deep back into my college lifestyle and experience and pull out my greatest tool to analyze the Clash Royale world: math. That's right, being a computer scientist and electrical engineer has its perks. I have been able to dissect the number of commons, rares, epics, and legendary cards that you will get, the amount of gold and gems, and using these numbers, we have 3 different methods that can help us find what is the best way to level up your cards and account. Let's get started. Number 1. The first method, guys, that most people think about maxing out their accounts is buying chests. Now, we've seen this before. You have YouTubers like Molt, Nick at Night, Chief Pat, and even professional clans like Nova or HKE Sports that have the max level 13 accounts. This was typically done by them buying super magical chests. Why do they buy super magical chests? Because super magical chests contain the highest percentage of getting legendary cards. In order to determine that legendary rate, we use the total number of cards in the chest versus the number of legendaries that are available to you and the total number of commons available to you, as long with a legendary factor. The legendary factor is the highest when we are buying super magical chests. Using this information with the total number of cards that you need to get in order to max out your account, we can reverse engineer the minimum number of super magical chests you will need to buy in order to get a maxed account. Once again, this is the minimum number because in order to max out a single common card, let's say archers, you will need 9,586 cards. Now we pull out in a Arena 11 super magical chest 567 commons. That means we need to get a little over 18 straight common pulls in order to max them out, but not get any extra archers. Using these numbers, I was able to determine that we get 567 common cards in a super magical chest, 147 rare cards, 24 epics, and we are going to use the pseudo legendary drop rate of 73%, which was the legendary drop rate of when the bats were released. Using this information, we are able to determine the minimum number of super magical chests that you will need to purchase. In order to max out all your commons, you will need to buy at least 355 super magical chests. This is roughly the same across common, rares, and epics. However, if you were to try and max out your legendaries, because you are not guaranteed a legendary, it ends up becoming a whopping number of at least 641 super magical chests. Since we know the minimum number of super magical chests you need to buy, we can reverse engineer and find the total cost of buying all these super magical chests, which turns out to be $22,435. Guys, that is completely crazy for the average player like you and me. How many of us have $22,000 that we have to drop onto an account? Jack Mamu, there has to be another way. Well, we do have another way. Let's get into method number 2. Method number 2 is a lot more challenging, but certainly is more economical for the average player like you and me. That is the 12-win Grand Challenge chest. These chests have a 33% drop rate of a legendary card, and with that they contain 22,000 gold, 979 commons, 110 rares, and 11 epics. Using the same method as before, we are able to determine that you need to get at least 206 of these 12-win Grand Challenge chests to max out your commons, 517 to max out your rares, 772 to max out your epics, and a whopping 1,418 12-win chests in order to max out your legendaries. Now a lot of you may be thinking, oh my gosh, 1,418, that's going to be crazy expensive, how am I ever going to do that? Well, once again, we can reverse engineer the number of gems that it will take in order to win, and from there, we are able to convert that back into cash. So let's walk through it together. So if we need at least 1,418, we're gonna we're gonna times that by 100 gems, and then we will divide that by 14,000 because that's the number of gems you get per $100. We get a grand total of $1,013 to max out your account from straight grand challenges. Certainly a lot cheaper than the previous one. But in all honesty, it is very unlikely for the average player like you and me. If we were that good, we might as well be recruited into Nova and HK Esports and hopefully be the recipient of their Super Magical Chess sponsorship. Which leads us into method number 3. Number 3! Well guys, this is method number 3, and this is not the one SuperCell wants you to know. The reason why is because SuperCell isn't the recipient of any real economical incentives for this method. This method is for those players who don't want to spend a whopping $22,000 to buy all the Super Magical chests and yet don't have the skill in order to win over 1,400 grand challenges. With that in mind, what is the secret method? I stumbled upon this method at the end of one of my streams. I was contacted by an individual who I will not name, but he identified himself as a booster. Now what is a booster, guys? A booster is one of these professional players from HK Esports, Nova, or some of these other big up clans that have these really talented players. They want to play Clash Royale all day, but they don't want to spend time in order to get a job. So with that, they found a way to hack the system and make money from Clash Royale outside of SuperCell. These boosters are granted access to your account, and then they will play as you in these grand challenges. Their price points are not fixed on the number of grand challenges that they win, but the total number of cards that they will get you. Right here are some images that he sent me on what his price ranges are, his contact information and stuff, which I have removed for this video. But let's use these analytical price. If it costs 45 euros in order to get 5,000 cards, we can assume that he's meaning you're winning 5 12-win Grand Challenge chests. With that in mind, we are able to reverse engineer once again the total cost of every card, using the same numbers as before. Except now, instead of the number of challenges in order to max out your account, it's converted to the number of payments you need to make this person in order to max out your account. Below I show you the number of payments you will need to make in order to max out each individual tier. Basing our total price off of the number of payments we need to get to max out all of our legendary cards, that becomes 284 payments of 45 euros, which becomes $12,764, everyone, which is considerably cheaper than method number 1. Now once again, this is something SuperCell does not want you to use. Why? Because they're not making any money. They would gladly take the $22,000 that you pay from buying Super Magical chests than having someone else only having to pay $1,000 for them to make over $10,000 in exchange. That's why SuperCell doesn't promote this kind of services. That's why they penalize these people. That's why this method is deep down in the dark regions of the internet. And YouTubers, professional YouTubers, will reach out to these individuals to boost their account, to make them seem like a more professional player than they really are. Quite a small investment, huh? I wish I had $12,000 to drop on a max account. But guys, overall, these are the 3 methods on maxing out your account. You can go the SuperCell route and pay over $20,000 to max out your account. If you are very skilled, it will cost you at least $1,000 using only grand challenges. Or if you are an intermediate like me, who may not be looking to max out their account but looking to get a very good boost, then perhaps we should contact my friend here with the boosters and see if we are able to get a better deal than SuperCell has to offer us. And I'll see you all in the next video.